Insurance isn't a one-size-fits-all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy. Or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple for you to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's in our blood, it's in our bones, orange and brown, yeah, we ride for our own like a dog pack running. We ain't alone, game day comes, get ready for the show. It's our call, it's our bark, it's our song. We stand tall, yeah, we've been here all along. Through it all, the dog pound standing strong. We all dogs, yeah, we all dogs. Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reniker, Justin Charles, Kenny Mack, and Josh All. We are dogs!
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Josh All, your host today, and that will have been the first time anyone has heard that new intro to the podcast. So if you're watching on video, I need your guys' input. What did you think about the video? What did you think about the song? The problem is I had the licensing rights to the previous song that we've been using, but YouTube, freaking YouTube, constantly flags it for copyright issues, even though I've got the license and full permission from Artlist to use that music. And, you know, we even customized it into our own intro with a voiceover and everything. Doesn't matter. YouTube, for some reason, keeps flagging it, and then Artlist has to go in and file dispute with YouTube, and it's demonetized until the dispute gets resolved. It's just a freaking mess. So, new song, new intro, new graphics. I'm not really sure about the video. You guys let me know about that. I might rework it and try to do something different, but I need your feedback on that. I've been working on that for a little while here, and just happy to be able to present it to you guys. So give me your feedback today. Not a whole lot as far as news is concerned for the Browns. Today is all about you. It's you guys. I've been promising for over a week since the NFL draft. I need to play your voicemails, your reactions, everything that you had from draft weekend, draft week, last week, everything. Let's dive into it, because I obviously, with the episodes last week, going through detailing each draft pick, and then we had the Discord Live episode. I had my interview with Dan Wilkins. Busy week, very busy week following the draft, and we've got even more content coming your way with more prospect breakdowns. I want to get Brian Bosarge back on here to talk about things, what his Bengals did, the AFC North again, and obviously the Browns draft. But today is all about you guys. So let's dive into your voicemails. Before we do, jointhedogs.com if you guys want to get into the Dog Pack community. Sync up with the private Discord, hang out with all the diehard Browns fans in there, join the Dog Pack Discord, live episodes, get on stage, talk to us, ask questions, interact. It's just a ton of fun to do that. And June 1st, fantasy football registrations will open. So we're there. I've been telling you guys, as soon as we hit May, it's going to go straight into June real fast. We got rookie mini camp coming up here at the end of the week. So I'm telling you, once this stuff starts hitting, it goes fast. I'm not trying to wish the summer away, but we're going to be at September before you guys know it. I know we're going to hit this lull in the summer for the summer break. I'm sure somebody on the team is going to get arrested during that point. It happens every year. And other than that, there won't be any news to talk about. So we'll just be going straight from the mandatory OTAs and all that. Big break till training camp. So anyway, just get into the Dog Pack, guys. We love seeing you in there. Hang out. Again, if it's not for you, just don't have to stay. But it's just $5 a month to join. It's a cup of coffee that you donate to the show. Helps us out financially and gives you access to a lot of great people, a lot of great conversations and cool things that we do throughout the year that aren't always made, available to the public. So get in there now, jointhedogs.com. Okay. Enough of that. Oh, actually, no. I guess there was one thing I wanted to talk about. So ESPN aired their documentary the other night, the pick is in. So that went and gave fans a more behind-the-scenes look into the war room for NFL teams during the first round of the draft. And it was very interesting, the parts of that documentary that detailed what the Browns were doing in their war room. And I just wanted to mention this in case you guys missed it. Let me know what you think in the comments if you watched the documentary and you saw this. But the first thing was when the Browns got on the clock at 6, they felt comfortable moving back to 9 with the Chiefs. Number one, we already knew from Jory Epstein's article last week that when the Browns made that move, Andrew Berry got a commitment from the Chiefs that you guys are not moving up here to take a tackle. We'll trade this pick with you, but you're not coming to get a tackle, right? And they said, no, we're not coming up to take an offensive tackle. Okay, so Andrew Berry made that deal. Why was that so important to distinguish? Well, we found out in that documentary that once the Browns got to 6, they had 3 players that they wanted at 6. They would have been good with any one of the 3. And they said, well, if Kansas City comes up here at 6 and they're not taking a tackle because the players they wanted were 2 tackles and a wide receiver, well, then you have 7, 8, and then we're back on the clock at 9. We're guaranteed to get at least one of these guys who are the top 3 on our board once we get to 6. So they moved back, and the top 3 guys on their board were offensive tackle Spencer Fano, wide receiver Jordan Tyson, and offensive tackle Francis Maui-Noa. So they moved back. It was a great move. They netted an extra 3rd, an extra 5th. Those extra picks helped them navigate and move around the board and end up with the draft class that we got, which was amazing. And we know, let's see, Jordan Tyson was the first one to go off the board at 8 to the Saints. And then at 10, I believe it was, Francis Maui-Noa to the Giants. And so obviously we were right in the middle there, 9, and we took our preferred tackle, which I think was the right move to get Spencer Fano. So I thought that was pretty cool, seeing the inside of that war room. And then just the other nugget from that documentary pertaining to the Browns specifically. I didn't know this. Maybe this had been reported somewhere, but I had never heard. Once the Browns got to pick 9, after they made the trade with the Chiefs, the Dallas Cowboys then tried to get up to 9. They wanted our pick at 9. And Jerry Jones wanted the 9th overall pick and our 24th overall pick. So both of our first round picks at that point. And he was going to give us both of their first round picks. So it would have been 12 and 20 plus an extra 5th round pick. And to me, when I saw that, I was like, okay, so they wanted us to move back from 9 to 12. I know that's only 3 spots, but think about, we had 3 people on the board. And once we got to 9, only 2 of them were remaining. And we really wanted Spencer Fano. So we weren't going to make that move, especially just for an extra 5th round pick as the kicker. And obviously we were moving up 4 spots later in the round from 24 to 20. But I feel like the value loss moving completely out of the top 10 would have been, I would have wanted more than a 5th round pick just to make that work. Now, as far as draft pick trade value charts and things like that, maybe that was an even trade for that. But I mean, when you're on the clock and you got a guy that you really like and you already made a move back, got some extra picks, not really looking to, well, what's another extra 5th round pick going to do for me, Jerry? And then I lose out on Fano? No. So Andrew Berry turned it down, stuck at 9, took Spencer Fano. So I thought that was a cool documentary. I thought it was some cool insight into the Browns war room. I would love to see the entire raw, uncut footage from the Browns war room during night 1. I think that would be so cool to just sit back and watch 3.5 hours of how the conversations around the table went the whole time, the phone calls they were making and taking and discussions they had around certain players and reactions that they would have had when other guys were taken. I didn't see this part of the documentary. I must have missed it. I saw somebody on X said that the Browns room, maybe it was just maybe they just quickly showed different reactions once Carnell Tate was taken at 4, but they said, I don't think the Browns were too thrilled to see that Tate was off the board. I do get the feeling that Carnell Tate was the top guy on their board for number 6, because it said once they got to 6, the 3 top guys remaining were Fano, Jordan Tyson was the only wide receiver they listed, and then Francis Maui-Noa. So I got a really good feeling that Carnell Tate was at the top of their board, because I can't imagine they would have had Jordan Tyson over Tate. That just, to me, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So either way, thought that was interesting. Wanted to chat about that real quick with you guys and get your takes on that as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Okay, now I will give you guys a little bit of a warning. I might be jumping. I have not actually gone through. I've got so many messages, so many voicemails from you guys. So I haven't gone through and read all the messages from the website or listened to all the voicemails yet. So some of this stuff I might introduce a voicemail. If the topic of the voicemail or the subject matter is just completely irrelevant where we are now in May 4th. May the 4th be with you guys, by the way. Absolutely. Star Wars Day. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I got my little Darth Vader. Oh, this side. Darth Vader's right up here. Yep. Okay. Anyhow, so if I'm jumping around a little bit, that is why. But man, I got to go all the way back here. So this one's from draft night, April 23rd. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Scratch that. See, right there, I did it already. These okay. Is this from April 20? This is from April 25th. So this is Saturday of draft weekend. This is from Jacob. Jacob writes in and says, this was another amazing draft for Andrew Berry. I love the focus on the offensive line and the wide receiver room. I also really like AB trading back into the second round to pick Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. Might have to buy his jersey because I called the trade up. Well, good job, Jacob. I think that was a great pick. Such a great pick, getting that kid at 58. Unreal. He says, the one pick I'm still not so sure about is Taylon Green. I understand he's an athletic freak, but he is still a quarterback. Overall, an amazing draft, so he keeps his job for now. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Berry's another thing from that documentary is I'm not sure the draft room would have felt that way. It felt like Andrew Berry had full command of that draft room. Like it was his show and he was running it. Not like what I say goes, but it just felt like he was the leader, he was in charge, and he was running the show, and he did it very, very efficiently and very well, in my opinion. I would love to see clips and some insight to the Browns war room in years past when Paul DePodesta was a part of the equation. I just have a feeling Andrew Berry may not have been so assertive and so, I don't know, just strong with his leadership during the draft like he was during this, and I thought it was great. So, Jacob, thank you. Obviously, we do. We'll be talking about Taylon Green all summer. We'll be talking about all the quarterbacks, obviously. It's just always a topic of conversation with the Browns when it's a topic of conversation for any team that doesn't have a firm set in place, forget about it type of starting player at quarterback. And the Browns, unfortunately, don't right now. There's a quarterback competition. We just added another guy after adding 2 last year. Taylon Green is the most interesting prospect in this entire class, strictly due to his insane athletic ability. So, yeah, we'll be talking about this stuff all summer. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do all the messages first, and then I'll kick it over to the voicemails. Let's see. This one is from Ralph. Ralph says this. So it looks like Berry has had 2 good drafts in 2 years. So, do you think Jimmy Haslam was pushing Berry to use analytics, or the previous bad years was all Berry also, and he fooled us all? No defensive tackle for this year. Yes, the first time Andrew Berry has gone in a draft and not taken a defensive tackle. I firmly expected him to take a DT. But we went, 10 picks, 8 offense? 8 offense. Good. That offense sucked last year and the year before. Freaking terrible. Good Lord. Thank you, Andrew Berry, for listening and watching and just looking at the roster and saying, yep, time to invest. It's time to invest. So do I think Jimmy was pushing Berry to use analytics? No, I think Paul DePodesta was. Yeah, I think Paul DePodesta and Kevin, because you got to remember those two. Kevin was a Paul DePodesta guy. Kevin Stefanski, extremely analytically driven, extremely. So I think that there was a good mind meld between Kevin and DePodesta, and I think that maybe I'm not ready to make sweeping declarations on Andrew Berry. It was a great draft. It's been 2 good drafts. I love it. I think there's a chance now that Andrew Berry has taken some unfair criticism for his overusage of analytics, because maybe it wasn't fully him overutilizing the analytics. So I think the other guys had a strong hand in a lot of that. All right, so we'll move on here. Next message is from Cole. Cole says, hey guys, I started listening to this podcast on Spotify towards the middle part of last year, and I haven't missed an episode since. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate the dedication, man. I love you guys. You guys are I know I say it a lot. Sometimes I feel like I don't say it enough. You're the best freaking audience in the world, man. I love you guys. It says, Cole says, it is refreshing to hear logical Browns takes outside of the crap the usual Browns media feeds us. Oh my gosh, dude, tell me about it. He says, with that being said, MKC saying that Deshaun Watson is leading the quarterback race right now is awful. I was at the game where he tore his Achilles, and even though people try to deny it, we were cheering. Okay, well, there you go. Firsthand experience. He says, if they truly named Deshaun the week 1 starter and it is a home game, the stadium might get torn down. Dude, me and Justin have been talking about this. Like, how can you put him out there? How can you put him out there in front of the home crowd? First of all, I did the math the other day because I made a couple social media posts because I don't want Deshaun Watson playing football for my team anymore. I'm tired of it. Well, I guess it's kind of hard to be tired of it because he hasn't done it, I guess is my point. 68 games have been played. The Browns have played 68 regular season games since the trade for Deshaun Watson. He has played in 19 of them. That is 28% availability. Sorry, I know I'm like radio silence here for the audio listeners. 28% availability? Why are we messing around? Why are we screwing around with this guy? It's ridiculous, man. If he comes out and he balls out this year, I mean, everybody who wants to just throw crap in my face for some reason, I don't know why. I feel like there are people that hate Shedeur Sanders so much that they are just bending over backwards to prop up a guy that they previously despised. And that's how much they hate Shedeur. But anyway, I don't get it, man. I am with you, Cole. It does not make a whole heck of a lot of sense. All right, moving on here. Kane says, what's up, dog? Loved all the draft coverage, plus all the information and the mock drafts before that. Thank you. Appreciate it. He says, there isn't much college football coverage out here in Ireland, so you were able to give me plenty of knowledge on the players for the draft. Thank you for the feedback. I am glad that what we did pre-draft through the process helped you understand the players and the prospects and have a little more knowledge. That was the whole goal. Kane says, don't say it much, but thank you for all that and for the consistent and entertaining content. On to my question, going to be Taylon Green related. I'm telling you guys, we're going to be talking a lot about this kid. I think they will go quarterback for him this season with the idea in the back of their minds of converting him for the 2027 season. I can see them trying to use him in a Taysom Hill or Justin Fields with the Steelers type of role this season. A few packages here and there for him, but as an out-and-out quarterback, I don't think it's a viable option. Do you think that would be a realistic role for him this season? Go Dogs. Yes, I do. Yeah. No, they're not going to convert him to wide receiver this year, even though I think that's what will end up happening. I think that's what should happen. And, I was doing some research the other day. And again, you guys are going to hear this a lot because I'm going to keep talking about it. I got some social media stuff to put together with all this. There's people out there that just think Taylon Green is going to have a legitimate shot to compete for this quarterback 1 role. And I'm just telling you guys, no, he's not. Quarterbacks drafted outside of the first 2 rounds have a historical hit rate. It's not exact, but it is between 10 and 15%. Quarterbacks taken in the 6th round. Okay, so first of all, just outside of the first 2 rounds, you're already down to a 10 to 15% odds of hitting and sticking as a long-term starter in the NFL. 6th round, I need to pull up the exact. I'm trying to pull everything off my memory from what I researched the other day. 6th round, I think, was 5%, less than 5%. And here's the kicker. 6th round quarterbacks with a 60% or lower completion percentage in college, which is what Taylon Green had, and a high turnover rate, which is what Taylon Green had, is a less than 2%, less than 1.5% odds. That's why I say it's not going to happen. He is going to be a guy that this year I think you'll see in packages, like you just said, Kane. I think you'll see him. I mean, who better to bring in for a quarterback sneak on the goal line than a 6'6", 240-pound monster? Absolutely. That's how you use the guy. But another caveat to this is he also, if you're going to use him in sub packages, he's got to be available. He's got to be part of the active game day roster. So that's the thing. If you're going to, I hadn't really thought that through until I was kind of on the spot here talking to you guys about this. It's going to be tough, actually. Now that I think about it, it's going to be tough to use Taylor Green in those packages because they usually only keep 2 active quarterbacks, or at least that's what you want, plus a third guy who's your emergency QB. It's really tough to eat up a third game day active roster spot for an active quarterback, not an emergency guy, because that doesn't count against your active game day roster, but a third, because that would mean either your starter, Shador or Deshaun, and then either your backup, Shador or Deshaun. So there's your 2 quarterbacks. So are you going to keep, I don't know, Dylan Gabriel on the practice squad as your emergency guy, but then also keep a third active game day quarterback, QB3 Taylor Green, just so you can bring him in on those packages? I don't know, man. That does seem... Okay. I'll get back to you guys with this. I want to think that through. I'm going to talk to my man, Angel Ortiz, about that, because that could get interesting. This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. All right, Browns fans, you know, we've all messed around with the sports books before, right? And let's be honest, you're always kind of playing against the house. But with Kalshi, it's different. You're not betting against some sports book. You're trading against other real-world people. There's no house trying to beat you. Kalshi just runs the marketplace. So if you think the public is wrong, like everybody's overreacting to these smoke screens in the draft or sleeping on a prospect, you can literally take the other side of the market. And it's not just sports either. You can trade on other real-world stuff, interest rates, inflation, even wild weather outcomes. It works like this. Simple yes or no markets, your risk is capped up front, and your payout is locked in. So if you trust your takes and instincts, and I know you guys do, go check out Kalshi and see what markets are live right now. So head over to kalshi.com/dogs, KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS. Deposit just $20, and Kalshi's going to match you. They're going to put $20 free into your account. That's a great deal to get started. So again, kalshi.com/dogs, $20 match when you deposit $20 into your account. Hey, Browns fans, we just partnered with Fanatics to bring you guys the best Browns gear available. Head over to brownsmerch.com to check out everything in our storefront. I know you guys want that new Shador Sanders #2 jersey. We've got those in there. Rock the Depoy and the D-Roy jerseys with Myles Garrett and Carson Schlesinger, along with the other studs from last year's draft. We've got a collection of Browns hats, T-shirts, and hoodies you can browse through too. Again, that's brownsmerch.com to check out our Browns gear powered by Fanatics.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact that you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. They make it super simple. Pop over to progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with coverage options tailored to your choices. Plus, you'll see which discounts you may qualify for, like the online quote discount or savings for paying in full. In fact, 99% of Progressive Auto customers earn at least one discount. See if you could save when you switch to Progressive. You'll feel good about making a savvy choice. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little extra cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
This episode is sponsored by Trollco. Browns fans, there's a phrase that has been used around the blue-collar world forever. Dirty hands, clean money. The idea that you show up, you put in the work, and you build your ideal life because of it. Sound familiar? That is Browns country. And Trollco is a clothing brand built around that very belief. 2 guys who worked the oil patch looked around and could not find a single brand that represented people like them. So they started making workwear, tees, hoodies, and hats all by themselves. You know, gear for the person who works hard all week and still brings that same energy to the tailgate on Sundays. And I know I'm talking Cleveland in general, but Northeast Ohio is that blue-collar, work hard, earn what you have area. Whether it's you or somebody you know, a family member, your dad, your brother, uncle, whatever the case may be, you guys know what that dirty hands, clean money phrase truly means. So check out what they have to offer. Head to trollco.com/dogs. That's TROLLCO.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use code DOGS25 for 25% off your first order. Okay, next message. Philip. Kane, thank you for the message. Philip, thank you for the message. He says, I want Shador to work out for practical reasons alone. I'm with you, man. Unless we suck so bad that we pick number 1 next year, we may not get a great quarterback anyways. He says, if Watson is amazing, we pick low, but we have to extend him. I'll come back to that. He is persona non grata for most of it and would make things way too complicated for the team and the fans. For the sake of world peace, I want Watson to somehow keep sucking and Shador to just be solid and then next year explode and become the number 2 pick caliber he was projected to be. I somehow feel sorry for Gabriel. I wanted him to be good. The poor guy is somehow out of the running. Will he even be tradable? Keep it going. Woof, woof. Philip from Dubai. Cool, man. Thank you for listening all the way from Dubai. We appreciate all you guys are awesome. Anyway, all right, so let's work our way back through this one. Dylan Gabriel. I wanted him to be good. Poor guy, out of the running. Will he even be tradable? I mean, look, if he was Kevin Stefanski's guy, I do think that there's it looks bad for Stefanski, I think, if a year after drafting him, the Browns are just like, cut bait and go. Just cut him. And there could be an opportunity where the Browns, Andrew Berry likes to do these late round pick swaps. So you take and I don't even know what the draft capital is for each team. I'm just speculating, but you take like a 2027 7th round pick plus Dylan Gabriel, go to Atlanta with all the rest of the left-handed quarterbacks in the NFL, and you send us back a 6th round pick or an earlier 7th round. That's the kind of stuff, like, you're not going to trade him for anything significant. Nowhere close to what we invested in the kids. Freaking 3rd round pick. Such a stupid pick. But anyway, Shador working out for practical reasons. Yeah, I know. I keep saying you got him on a 5th round rookie contract. Hello. That is your get out of jail free card early of this Deshaun Watson debacle. And the other thing here that, Philip, we got to talk about. He says, where is it? If Watson is amazing, we pick low, but we have to extend him. We don't have to. That's a choice. That's a choice. First of all, if Watson is amazing, not going to happen. Don't stop thinking in those terms of, well, what if he balls out there? He's not going to do it. Ain't going to ball out. He won't even freaking play 7 games. Come on, guys. Like, we've got a lot of history on our side here to project what we can be confident is going to happen this year. He's not going to be good. Could he be better than he was under Kevin Stefanski? Okay, but that doesn't take much. He was the worst quarterback in the league under Kevin Stefanski. So to be better than that, that doesn't take a whole hell of a lot. So yes, is there a world where he's better than what we've seen so far in Cleveland? Yes. Does that world include him being what we needed him to be when we made the move for him? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. But in this world that you're laying out here, Philip, I'll play the game. We have to extend him if he plays amazing. 1, no, we don't. We don't have to. And number 2, extending him means he agrees to the contract. There is no, okay, well, we finally got the quarterback we traded for, so we're just going to ink him to the 3-year extension and we're done. Not if you don't want to be here. Not if he says, yeah, good. I just put out a resume to get myself on, another shot on another team away from this fan base that hates me. I'm out of here. I don't see any way, shape, or form that Deshaun Watson is here on an extended contract after 2026. I just don't see it possibly happening. But like everything here, guys, time will tell. Thank you for the message, Philip. All right, so we got David from Baltimore. Says, draft was great, no doubt. A stronger offense is going to let the defense eat. That said, it feels like we're not deep enough at the edge position. Looking at the remaining free agents, could we see Jadeveon Clowney return to Cleveland? While his sack numbers were never amazing, he does such a good job simultaneously stopping the run that I think he'd complement our linebacker core well. My largest hesitation is I know he likes to sign really late in the offseason. I'd love to see us lock down our roster ASAP. Do you think the Browns will pursue a veteran edge rusher before the start of the season? And if so, who? Well, I don't think it's going to be Jadeveon Clowney. I don't see him wanting to come back here. And I don't see us wanting to go after... How old is Jadeveon Clowney? Isn't he like... He's pretty old, isn't he? Yeah, okay, so he's 33 years old. This is a Browns roster that's trying to get younger. I just don't see them working their way backward for a guy that, let's face it, didn't really want to be here by the time his time in Cleveland was up, he was out the door, man. He didn't want to be here. So, yeah, I do not see Jadeveon Clowney now. Could they add a veteran edge rusher? Very possible, yes, because they tried to. They tried to add A.J. Epinesa. That didn't work out, failed physical and all that kind of stuff, so they backed out of that signing. And I think we got a couple UDFAs that I need to do a UDFA show for you guys here later this week. I'm planning on that just to give you the names and positions and guys to be watching. Obviously, out of 13, 14, 15 UDFAs we signed, maybe one or two make the team. It's usually how it goes. Last year, I think we had a couple more just because the talent was completely depleted. So we needed more bodies on the roster and the practice squad. But this year, the two edge rushers I'm very fascinated with are Logan Fano, Spencer's older brother out of Utah, and then Tyree Sapp, the edge rusher out of Florida. So we'll talk about those two in more detail than some of the other guys. But let's go over real quick here, David from Baltimore. Let's check out Spotrac. I want to look at these free agents. Okay, so we got free agent list pulled up here. I sorted by market value, like the top dude, Joey Bosa, not signing with Cleveland. Leonard Floyd, he's almost 34 years old. He's going to be too expensive as well. Cameron Jordan's interesting, and he's almost 37. I don't know. Some of these, A.J. Epinesa is the fourth guy on this list. Obviously, we're going to have to be looking below that. It ain't going to be Von Miller. It's not going to be Jadeveon Clowney. Dante Fowler, Hassan Reddick, Cleveland Farrell, Derek Barnett, Kyle I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm not sure if we're really in the market for a big-time edge rusher. I mean, maybe Obo Okoronkwo wants to come back for a year. He's projected at a $1.8, almost $1.9 million one-year deal. Like, that would be something the Browns would do. That's pretty much what I can see right now. So once camp starts and over the probably that summer break, we'll see if they decide to bring anybody in for training camp. I just said camp. I'm talking mini camp and the OTAs and stuff. But in between that period of time into training camp, we'll see what they decide to do at that position. But I agree with you, David. I think they do need to do a little bit more at the edge position. Okay, David actually sent me a few messages. So the second one here, he says, did the Browns grab Aaron Anderson with plans for him to be our primary kickoff returner? I don't know. I'll just be straight. I don't know. Aaron Anderson, wide receiver from LSU, is a UDFA we signed, and he will be part of the breakdown that I do later this week on the UDFA players that we signed. And he's one of the guys I'm more excited about than some of the rest, I think. Excuse me. I think there's a opportunity there for him. Obviously, our wide receiver depth chart is now heavily clogged, which is good. We needed it to be with players that can actually play the position. And we'll see what he can do. I need to get stats, numbers, projections for him. And so stay tuned, David. We'll talk more about Aaron Anderson. Then this last one from David says, sorry for all the questions. Don't be sorry, brother. I love answering these things. He says, stuck at work thinking about the Browns is far more fun. I know it sounds like it shouldn't be, but I've been there too, man. He says, final bonus question of the day and a way too early prediction. Which non-quarterback Browns player do you think has the greatest chance to surpass 1,000 all-purpose yards next season? And if you think there could be more than one, which player do you think will do it first? My money is on KC Concepcion, closely followed by Harold Fannin. I think Judkins will understandably start slow, but hopefully pick up as the season progresses. All-purpose yards? Yeah, dude, my money would be on KC. Especially if we're going to use him as our primary punt returner. You want to talk about all-purpose 1,000-yard season? Yes, KC Concepcion. That's where you want to put your money. Because he's going to do it in the receiving game, and then he's going to do it in the return game as long as we use him there. So definitely with you. KC for sure on that one. Okay, I think that's everybody. Yep, those are all my messages from the website. Oh, mama, do I ever have a lot of voicemail to get to. Okay. We're going to start things off here. We got Joshua from Draft Night on April 23rd.
Hey, Dogs Podcast. Social worker Josh here out in Portland, Oregon. Just want to say you guys haven't gotten to the Browns pick on the podcast yet, but you're going to be Get excited, you guys. We got a wide receiver and potentially a wide receiver one. KC Concepcion. I will take it. I will take it. Andrew Berry, thank you for not taking a giant Cleveland steamer on our chest. Maybe like the Cavs did tonight. It's okay. I think it's a good loss for the Cavs. That's another conversation for another time. Go Dogs. Woo, woo.
All right. Well, that was a fun one from draft night. Yeah. I mean, leading up to pick 24, it was like, please, please, please take KC Concepcion. And we did, man. I was so pumped when we got him. And yeah, Cavs also lost that night. Not great. We can have that conversation. Was it a good loss or not? We went all the way to game freaking 7 with the Raptors. But hey, we pulled it out. We won last night. Awesome. So we move on. Play the Pistons tomorrow. Yeehaw. So we'll see if the Cavs can pull something together for us Cleveland fans. But social worker Josh, thank you for your reaction from draft night. Justin, your voicemail up next.
What's up, Dog Podcast? Your friendly neighborhood Browns fan out here in Jersey. Just chiming in here with the draft reactions. We just picked at 24. We took KC Concepcion. Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm happy. I would have preferred Tater Love at 6, but they were gone, and they took my guy, and we got the best lineman in the draft with Fano. So, hey, we got the best lineman in the draft, and we took KC Concepcion. I would have preferred Denzel Boston there. But I also like KC Concepcion. If he can work on his hands a little bit, he could be a very exciting receiver for us. So overall, my reaction is actually happy. If we wouldn't have taken a receiver at 24, I would have not had the same voicemail here. But anyway, here we are. We got KC Concepcion and Fano, the best lineman in the draft. So let's go Browns. Hoo hoo.
All right, Justin, great to hear your initial reaction from Thursday night, right after the first round wrapped up, and we came away with your dude. By the way, thank you. See, this is why I love doing this show for you guys, for the fans, because you guys give a whole hell of a lot back to me too. Justin, Jersey Justin, he's a Dog Pack member, has been berating me via voicemail and Discord messages for the last however many weeks, month before the draft. Spencer Fano, best lineman in the draft, best lineman in the draft. Come on, Josh. Come on. Okay. Let me do some more research. Let me really dig into this kid. And Justin got me. He got me there. I fully bought in. By the time I was done looking into Spencer Fano, I was fully bought in. Said at 6, if we have to, and I was still, obviously I was take Cardinal Tate, please. But he wasn't available. But before the draft, it was Cardinal Tate if he's not there, or if they are locked into offensive line and that's just what they're going to take. Please don't take Caden Proctor. Please don't take Monroe Freeling. Take Spencer Fano. Justin got me there, man. And that's why this show is so good, because I talk to you guys about what I find, my research, my thoughts, opinions, but you talk right back to me. You guys tell me what you think and what you want and all that kind of stuff. And Justin made me a believer. And now we hopefully, fingers crossed, because you never know until things happen on the field, but I think we're in a very good spot to have our left tackle of the future. And if he's not left tackle of the future, there's not a doubt in my mind that Spencer Fano will be a high-level offensive lineman somewhere on that line for the Browns for a long time. So great pick by the Browns. And Justin, I love hearing these voicemails and the reactions from draft night before round 2, because like you said in there, I wish we'd have gotten Denzel Boston. We got Denzel Boston on night 2. Man, this was such a good draft. So thank you, Justin. Appreciate hearing from you, buddy. The next VM is from Philip.
Hey guys, how you doing? Philip here from Dubai. So that was a solid live stream. So congrats to you guys for that. I didn't watch it live. I watched the re-live basically. And I have to say Andrew Berry did a solid job here on the first round. And there's only the summary here. Concepcion is one of the first tier wide receivers in this class. You got one of them. That's great. That's what we wanted. We needed a tackle. We got the first one off the board, so they had their pick, and they must have their reasons for picking Fano. I did some research with AI, and it just said there has been done some proper research. There's zero correlation between arm length and success in the NFL. So I am not worried at all. I'm still surprised that it's even being talked about, probably just media needing some clicks. But that is, I mean, I like Fano. Looking at him and the way he reacted, how happy he was to be picked, just shows me that's what we kind of, drafting good human beings. And we all love Bitonio. So I think that's what we're looking for. We want good guys that are ballers and that also at the same time are really kind human beings. And in the end, we can't be that dysfunctional if we have a GM that is being given a long leash to do that and who drafts those people. So in the end, I'm happy with that draft. I think that was a solid first day. Let's hope the second day continues like this. Woof, woof, go Browns.
All right, Philip. Okay, you got your messages on the website and got your voicemails here. It's great to hear from you, man. I came out in Jory Epstein's article last week when the Browns were set to make the pick of Spencer Fano. I believe Andrew Berry gave the floor to the lead scout who was responsible for, I don't know if it was the offensive line players or whatever. And they said, essentially, look, we're going to take Spencer Fano here, and we're not just getting an elite player, but we're getting the best person in the entire draft. And I thought that was really cool. And it does speak to a strong culture shift where this team, and again, I got a question now with Kevin gone, with DePodesta gone, how much of the questionable players that were brought in here were Andrew Berry's doing, and how much of it was Paul and or Kevin pushing for it? Because we have, over the years, brought in quite a few players that maybe not the best people. But yeah, I feel like Andrew Berry really bucked that trend now this year, especially with getting the players he got headlined by Spencer Fano. I'm very excited. So thank you guys for all your messages about Spencer Fano, about getting him and him as a player, him as a person, because I think it has gone really well for the Browns getting him. I think we're really going to be happy. All right, next one here is from Adam.
Boys, it's Adam. I wanted to go ahead and give my take on day one of the draft. First and foremost, I think I created a monster in my home because the second that Tennessee selected Carnell Tate, Cooper immediately burst into tears. So, tough to take. I think the Browns did the best they could with where the pieces were falling. Fano, I saw the phone call from Andrew Berry to him. All this conversation about him playing at other parts. Now, Andrew Berry said this dude is going to be a franchise left tackle. That's your left tackle right there. Casey Concepcion, I think that he's an immensely talented wide receiver. Here's my problem. Over the last 10 years, I looked it up. How many wide receivers had over 1,000 yards receiving and are under 6 foot tall in the NFL? And I found 5, and only 2 of them had multiple seasons. That was Tyreek Hill and Tyler Lockett. So while Concepcion is probably a great weapon, and he's probably predominantly going to be working out of the slot, maybe wide receiver too, this still keeps people like Jerry Jeudy and Tillman in the mix in our wide receiver room. And that's my biggest problem. It's not that there was maybe, you had Boston there that you could have taken at 24, but I guess my big thing is we're not addressing the ability for Shedeur Sanders to push downfield, and I feel like that's what's going to hit him and his ability to be our quarterback in the future.
All right, Adam, appreciate the voicemail, man. I tell Cooper I'm sorry, man. I know we got him all excited about Carnell Tate as well. Look, Cooper, buddy, don't feel bad about crying about that. I was holding back my own tears, okay, when we hit pick 4. And the Titans took my man, Carnell Tate. Gosh darn freaking Titans. I had a feeling. I just had this bad feeling we weren't even going to get the option to pick Carnell Tate at 6. But that's how it goes, man. That's just how the board falls sometimes. Doesn't always go your way. But sometimes it does go your way. And you get Spencer Fano, you get Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston, then you get Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, and things are just awesome, So I don't want to complain too much because it was a great draft. As far as your research, though, Adam, I missed what you were search query there, but wide receivers in the last 10 years with 1,000-yard seasons who are under 6 feet tall. Oh, well, I was going to say DJ Moore's had 4 1,000-yard seasons, almost 5, just a couple yards shy in 2024, but he's actually 6 foot. I thought DJ Moore was like 5'11", but I guess it depends on what. I think you should look at 6 feet and under, because there's a lot of wide receivers who are 5'11" that end up getting listed at 6 foot. I wouldn't be surprised if Casey Concepcion, 2-3 years down the road, you're on ESPN or something, NFL.com, and you're looking up his profile and he's listed at 6 foot. That's just kind of what ends up happening. Antonio Brown was 5'10", and that's who Casey Concepcion gets mocked or comped to quite a bit with his play style and everything. So we'll see. I understand. I know a lot of people are just out on receivers if they are under 6 feet tall. I get it. I think it's not the greatest starting point for an evaluation of a receiver. I don't like to entertain guys that are under 5'10", but I think 5'10", 5'11", that's okay. That's okay. It's about how do you play the position at that point. I mean, it's how do you play the position at any height? Because obviously we've got 6'3" or however tall Cedric Tillman is, and he sucks. So height isn't everything. Height is not everything. It's, can you play? Can you separate? Can you do things on the field that the other players at your position just aren't as good at? And I think Casey Concepcion's that kind of guy. This episode is sponsored by Butcher Box for Pets. Browns fans, Butcher Box for Pets has a deal you cannot pass up for your four-legged family members. Right now, you get 50% off your first subscription order of the premium slow-cooked nutrition dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Just go to butcherboxforpets.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DOGS when you check out. It can get confusing because we're the dogs, we love our fellow dogs, our dog pack members, and the Dog Pound faithful. But let's not kid ourselves. The most important dogs in our lives are, well, our dogs. And they're not just pets, like I said, they're part of the family. So the question is, what are you actually feeding them? At ButcherBox, they believe in real ingredients. Their pet foods have been developed and certified by vet nutritionists to contain 0 artificial flavors or preservatives. I know our house wouldn't be the same without Odie, our 100-pound golden retriever who thinks he's a 10-pound lap dog. Absolute dumbest dog in the world, but we love him like crazy. And it gives us peace of mind knowing that we're giving him quality food instead of those factory processed blocks from the store. And speaking of the store, no need to add dog food to your shopping list ever again. ButcherBox delivers their high-quality food right to your door. Just choose the delivery schedule that you need for your dog, and you can change, modify, pause, or cancel your plan at any time. So try it out today. Your dog will love you for upgrading their meal times. ButcherBoxForPets.com/dogs and use promo code DOGS, DAWGS, to get 50% off. That's right, half off your first subscription order of the premium slow-cooked nutrition fresh dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Minimum purchase of just $34. 50% discount applies to subscription orders only. One use per customer, and you can cancel at any time. ButcherBoxForPets.com/dogs.
Since 1989, Mount Hope Fence has set the standard in outdoor living. From decks and railings to fences and patios, we've got you covered. Our lineup features top brands like TimberTech, Alumagard, Preferred Railing, and Unilock, along with our own premium Duralux vinyl products. For over 30 years, we've partnered with contractors ensuring reliable job site delivery. Discover quality and excellence in all things outdoors with Mount Hope Fence.
But Adam, thank you as always for the voicemail, and get Cooper on with you next time. Want to hear from our little buddy Coop. All right, let's move on here. Devontae is up next.
Hey, fellas, it's Devontae. It's been a while since I called in. Of course, we got to talk about the draft. So that draft was amazing. A+, day 1, day 2. I had some family errands, so I really couldn't watch day 3. But from what I looked at, we picked up pieces that were needed for depth, which is, again, amazing. I truly believe this is the foundation of it. I put it in the Discord, and I'll say it here. Last year was the foundation. Just like a house, we build the foundation first, make sure the foundation is solid. We got solid pieces. Next year, next you want to do the beams and the drywall and the doors and the windows, and that's what this year is. If everything pans out and players from last year step up this year, players from this draft step up next year, the draft we may need to get whoever. That'll all be window dressing because everybody will be there. That'll all be the fancy stuff. That'll be the chandelier hanging in the living room. That'll be the 85-inch screen TV. That'll be all that stuff. I'm very happy for this draft. I'm very proud. of what AB did for this team and really gave fans something to look forward to. So let's go Brownies. Who?
Very good way to lay that out, Devontae. I really enjoyed your analogy there. Or is that a metaphor? I can never remember. I can never keep those two straight. But I really like how you put that. And at the end, you said something that stuck with me. And it was, you were proud. And I feel like as Browns fans, we don't get to say that. We don't get to feel that a whole hell of a lot. And walking out of the draft with all the national people, everybody who breaks down draft classes and gives grades and that kind of stuff, everybody's going, Browns either had the best or one of the top drafts in this entire, or in the entire league. And that's just, let's just enjoy that for as long as we can here. It was an amazing weekend. Like you said, built a strong foundation last year. We added some incredible components to it this year. Obviously, it all has to play out on the field. I get that. But right now we're not on the field. We're only on paper looking at this stuff. And man, did we do a good job as far as the paper is concerned. So thank you, Devontae. Appreciate you as always, man. All right, next up is B-Rad Moneymaker. And I am sure, obviously I haven't listened yet, but I am sure there will be a song to open this one up.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Dun, 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 dun. Man, I don't know where this Andrew Berry came from, but thank you, Lord Jesus, that Paul P. Podesta is gone and not babysitting anymore, because Andrew Berry absolutely lit the draft on fire, and we got a ton of great players. There was a ton of trades up, down, around town. You know, like when you're in Pittsburgh, you're around, you know, you're going downtown and around downtown. That's kind of how Barry was working, man. He's around downtown. Man, it was just, it was great to go to the draft too. And see the players get drafted and hang out with Nate, meet some people. It was awesome weather too. And, just awesome draft all together. I'm really pumped for this season, and we'll see how we do, man. Pumped for the off season. Let's go Browns. And I'm super excited for Denzel Boston. Let's go.
Yep, I knew it. Brad never disappoints with the song in the voicemail. Brad, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm glad you had a great time in Pittsburgh for the draft. I've actually never attended an NFL draft myself. Would love to do it sometime. It's tough because we always do a live stream for the draft, you know, and as long as we have a first round pick, we're doing the first round. If it's not, the years we didn't, we did the second round. So it's kind of tough to coordinate all that, plus try to, you know, arrange a trip. But if the draft does come back to Cleveland, maybe we'll try to make something happen and figure a more interactive way to be on site, or I don't know. We'll figure something out. But that's awesome. I'm glad you guys had a great time. I'm glad you and Nate enjoyed it. And I hope you're not still speaking like a Pittsburghian, because Yinzers, get out of here with that stuff. All right. Next voicemail is from Gabriel. This one should be interesting because he is our resident Buccaneers fan.
What's going on, Dogs Podcast? Your Buccaneers fan, Gabriel, is back, and my thoughts after the NFL draft. Thank the Lord the Buccaneers drafted Reuben Bain Jr. I wanted nothing to do with Kenyon Sadiq. Josh, you convinced me that Sadiq was basically just going to be another O.J. Howard, and that was my mindset this entire first round. And I am thankful that they got Reuben Bain Jr., and for my birthday now, I'm going to be asking for a Reuben Bain jersey. For the rest of my draft, I'm very, very happy with the results. I'm very shocked that the Buccaneers landed Ted Hurst. I'm going to be looking forward to seeing how he works with the other receivers, but overall, I'm very also impressed with your draft too, that you're able to land Concepcion and Boston. Looking forward to seeing what that offense looks like now with either Watson or Shador. But anyway, just wanted to send this in. Go Dogs Podcast and go Browns. Whoa.
Yeah, nice draft for you guys down there in Tampa Bay, Gabriel. Ted Hurst, if you guys know, I loved Ted Hurst in the process here this year. And if the Browns did not go with two wide receivers early, Ted Hurst was the guy I wanted. You know, if we only went with Carnell Tate early, or we only took a guy at 24, then it was like, get me freaking Ted Hurst. I think he's going to be a very good NFL receiver. But we got Concepcion and Denzel Boston to boot. So I'm very excited about that. And I hope somebody does get you your Ruben Bain Jr. jersey so you can rock that when you go to the games. And yeah, so good luck down there. I think you guys got a young up-and-coming wide receiver duo with Emeka Egbuka, obviously from Ohio State, last year's first-round pick for you guys, and now Ted Hurst. Could be very sneaky good in Tampa Bay. Oh, and I forgot you mentioned about Kenyon Sadiq. Yeah, okay, so my pre-draft prediction that Kenyon Sadiq would end up being a O.J. Howard style bust, which you're very familiar with O.J. Howard as a Buccaneers fan. That's where he busted. Sadiq going to the Jets really plays well into my prediction he's going to be a bust, because I can't see anybody succeeding in that New York Jets offense. So at least for the first year or two, I think I can probably stand on that one and say, look, I said Kenyon Sadiq wasn't going to be any good. Now we'll see. Maybe he ends up busting out over the length of his career, but things do not look good starting out, especially since they also drafted Omar Cooper Jr. So now it's like they got Mason Taylor there. You're still hopefully throwing the ball to Breece Hall. RIP my dynasty team, because, gosh, I wish he would have gone somewhere else. But anyhow, that's beyond the point. Yeah, so Kenyon Sadiq was not a fan, definitely still not a fan. All right, we're getting closer to the end here, this voicemail show, this listener feedback. So I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who sent stuff in here and wants to interact with the show and then listen along here. It's a ton of fun. This next one is from our guy, Thrilla in Canada.
Hey guys, Thriller from Canada. Just wanted to say a quick couple of things about the draft and really the first 5 picks, which are the most important ones in my opinion. But we finally drafted for need, which was nice after the free agent pickups for the O-line, as well as drafting Fano and Barber as a backup. Both are versatile, can play right and left tackle. And then we finally got some wide receivers, which was nice. And I love McNeil Warren. I think this guy's going to ball out and just be a wrecking ball this year. So that's it. A great draft. I don't really know anything about the other guys and or any of the UDFAs that we picked up, but I mean, at least we got some depth. We need a lot of players. So, and special teams need to be really revamped. So I think it's going to be a great year, hopefully.
Thank you, Thriller. Thriller's just an awesome dude. You got to hang out with him at a tailgate for the Chargers game a couple years back. We were up there, and just an awesome guy. A lot of fun. And I agree, man. Special teams, definitely. As much as we added to the offensive line and the wide receiver core, obviously, one very under-talked about potentially big improvement for 2026 is the special teams units, because as you guys all know very well, unfortunately, as Browns fans, the special teams straight up cost us freaking games last year. I mean, the Jets, guys, we lost to the Jets. Oh my gosh. Yeah, special teams were bad. Getting a guy like Justin Jefferson, the linebacker out of Alabama, who projects to be primarily a special teams leader as a rookie. I don't think he's not going to be playing over Quincy Williams or anybody in the linebacking core. I think he'll rotate through. But special teams is where he's going to make his mark early on in his career. That was a great move. You got guys that can play these positions. I mean, just getting KC Concepcion, who can return a freaking kick. We haven't had that forever. And we got new special teams coordinator. There's reason to be hopeful that we're not going to be bottom of the league yet again in special teams and in offense, because, man, I cannot stress enough how bad those last 2 years were, guys. You guys know, you watched it with us, so we've all been there together. We've been through the struggle, been through the fire, so we're coming out with some renewed optimism heading into 2026. Thriller, thank you for that. All right, got a couple left here. This one is from Gage.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Gage. Just calling in, looking at what we did during free agency and in the draft recently. My biggest winner for the team is Shador Sanders. Clearly, the front office and our new head coach, Todd Monken, are giving him the pieces to surround him with, to give him a fair evaluation, to see if he can be the guy. We've added a lot to help him out this year. So, honestly, to me, there's really going to be no room for any excuses for anyone. That's really all I wanted to call in for. That's my biggest winner of this offseason for the Browns. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that.
Thank you, Gage. Always great to hear from you too, buddy. I mean, you guys are hearing from a lot of these call-ins are from members of our dog pack community, jointhedogs.com and the Discord. Just, you guys are awesome. Love hanging out with you guys and hearing your takes and your feedback and your questions and all that. So I would like to do an episode, and it's one I'd rather not do alone. I'd like to do it with Blake and Justin and get the whole crew together, but talk about winners and losers from the draft and the offseason for the Browns right now. But definitely, you can't look at Shador Sanders and not say clear-cut winner. You got Casey Concepcion, Denzel Ball. We got two real, actual NFL wide receivers on this roster. And now Jerry Jeudy's your wide receiver 3. We don't have to worry about Cedric Tillman anymore. We're not throwing, desperate heaves to the end zone to Gage Larvadan. Like, let's get some real freaking players on the field for this kid. And the offensive line is a huge upgrade for him. It's just, you're absolutely right, Gage. Shador Sanders, clear winner, whether he starts the season or not. I know I'm very hell-bent on Deshaun Watson should not play a game for the Browns. It's just not a good idea. It just doesn't benefit us in any way, in my opinion. But, if Deshaun Watson is still as bad as I believe he is, then even if he does start, it won't be long, guys. It won't be. Shador Sanders will play this year at some point, whether he starts the season or comes in week 3, week 4, whatever, after Deshaun shows he's clearly not the answer again. And when Shador does play, you're right. No excuses for either guy, by the way. So there's no rust. Guys, I have no rust. There will be no rust excuses for Deshaun Watson when he comes out and sucks in week 1 if they name him the starter. There will be no excuses for Shador Sanders if he does not make a dramatic improvement from year 1 to year 2 with everything the Browns have done to support that position. So I'm with you, Gage. I believe in Shador. I do think he's got what it takes, but it's got to come to fruition on the field. That's the only place it truly matters. It doesn't matter what I think. What matters is how it ends up working out on the field. So appreciate you, Gage. As always, last voicemail for today. This one is from Liam.
What is up, Dogs Podcast? It is Liam calling in from Calgary, Alberta. And after that draft from Andrew Berry and the Cleveland Browns, there is only one question on my mind. What jersey do I buy first? What an amazing draft from the Browns. I can't believe it. We are so back. This is incredible. I just called in to say how excited I am about the season and drop a hot take. And that hot take will be that the Browns finish second in the AFC North next year, ahead of Baltimore and ahead of Pittsburgh. Go Dogs. Ooh!
Man, I love it when a good show comes together without me actually planning it out that way, Liam. Thank you for wrapping up this episode with an excellent voicemail to end on. Jersey, go get a Casey Concepcion jersey, baby, number 1717. Let's get this guy. Let's rock him. Let's rep him. If you've already got your 12 jersey from last year for Shador Sanders, just put a little tape over the back. It's a Denzel Boston jersey now. You guys, if you see me wearing a 12 jersey, it's a Denzel Boston jersey. That's right. Yeah, those are, the Browns nailed it. By the way, when are our the full slate of rookie numbers coming out? It's got to be this week before minicamp, right? I see all these other NFL teams. Hey, look, here's all our rookie numbers. I'm like, well, where's ours at? We got 3 of them. We know Fano's rocking 55, Concepcion's rocking 17, Boston's going with 12. What are the rest of the, and I know some people are like, it's football. Who gives a crap about the number? It's something to talk about. But anyway, your hot take that we finished second in the division. Man, that's a bold take. But not like crazy bold considering where the division is. Pittsburgh's very similar to the Browns, and I know their fans are just absolutely melting down left and right because they can't handle being in the same conversation as Cleveland. But my goodness, you don't know who your quarterback is. It's all going to depend on the quarterback and what kind of play you get out of that quarterback. How's the new coaching staff? Like, 3 of these teams in the AFC North are in very similar situations with new coaching staffs, and 2 of them don't have locked in, solidified starters for that quarterback with the Steelers and the Browns. So you've got the Bengals obviously finishing first. Does their defense come together this year? I don't know. Does Joe Burrow get hurt? I mean, it's one of those things where the Bengals always seem to find a way to just not live up to expectations. And yeah, I'm with you, man. Let's end this thing on a positive note today. I definitely agree with Liam. I see a world, for sure I see a world in which the Browns perform way better in the AFC North than what anybody probably expects. But it's all going to come down to coaching. Does the change to Todd Monken from Kevin Stefanski bring upon the offense the type of improvement that we all hope and pray and expect it to? And can we get, Lord above, please, can we get average quarterback play? I feel like we're not asking for a whole hell of a lot here sometimes in Cleveland. Can we just get like average play out of a guy that we paid $230 million and traded 3 first-round picks? Can we just get league average play? A guy that was projected to be the number 2 overall pick in the draft. I think mock draft database by the end of draft season last year still had Shedeur Sanders as a top 10 pick. Can we just get average quarterback play out of one of those guys? That'd be great. All right, guys, appreciate you tuning in. Again, if you want to get your voicemails, your messages, all that stuff on the show, thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop down. You can send in a message. Get your voicemail here. You can type out a message so I can read it. Whatever you prefer, we accommodate. And of course, jointhedogs.com. I've already plugged a few times, but get in, hang out with all these people that you heard today in the Discord. Get ready for fantasy football. Sign up starting in June, on June 1st. Dogpack Discord live episodes, all the good stuff. Talk to me, Justin Blake, Kenny Mack, everybody. We're in there all the time. Come hang out. It's a great place. Jointhedogs.com. Thank you guys. Enjoy your week. I hope your Monday kicked everything off very well for you guys. Heading into rookie mini camp at the end of the week. A lot of great stuff coming out. Good content. Like I said, UDFA show, all that stuff. So stay tuned. Appreciate you guys as always. Let's go Browns.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at The Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification.